An Orange Park woman who police say was punched repeatedly by a corrections officer is calling for hate crime charges to be added. So we told you on Thursday that corrections officer Catherine Thompson was fired from JSO and faces charges of misdemeanor battery and falsifying official documents. The victim, Corinda Welch, has hired civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump, and today he wants officials in Washington, D.C. to get involved. First Coast News' Julia Janae is on your side tonight, joining us live from JSO, where this reported beating took place. So, Julia, why is Crump calling this a hate crime?
That's right, Anthony. He is saying that because of the words that were used up until this alleged beating, that's the reason that this is a much more serious crime against his client, Corinda Welch. Welch told me that there was a reference made by that officer to her while she was in custody, that reference back to the movie Roots by Alex Haley from the 70s. And that movie is about an African slave trade, and it's one of the reasons that they are calling for this to come down from Washington.
Any and all video surveillance of this excessive force encounter needs to be released.
Attorney Benjamin Crump calling on state and federal officials to intervene in the case of Corinda Welch.
So we're requesting that the state attorney and the Department of Justice investigate this matter as a hate crime. There were racial slurs being used, indicating what was the mentality of this officer.
I was only thinking about my babies and getting home to them. I never thought I would be the victim of police brutality.
Welch's arrest on June 29th stemmed from a suspended driver's license. She showed First Coast News these photos last week. She admits to having sharp words for officers, but says she never resisted in the 8 hours she was in custody.
So she called me Kunta Kinte. She said, "Oh, you supposed to be Kunta Kinte? What's wrong with you?"
Officer Catherine Thompson faces a battery charge for later punching Welch in a private room. Other officers reported 21-year-old Thompson, leading to her arrest. Attorneys Crump and Chris O'Neill say Thompson's short amount of time on the force, 18 months,
who did she learn this from,
makes the incident even more problematic.
Now, those letters demanding the release of that video and for hate crime charges to be added, Crump says will be sent out to State Attorney Melissa Nelson and to U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions in the near future. We'll, of course, continue to follow this story closely and bring you the very latest. For now, reporting live downtown, Julia Janae, First Coast News, on your side.